Okay, so we've started the real-time logger now, and the next step is to go into the dashboard and set up some of the features that are linked to the logger. We've got this dashboard here that's been developed by Queensland DAF in consultation with some exporters and also a developer. So if we log in here, we'll go in and we'll set up a logger. We'll add it first and then we'll add some shipment details. So this is the landing page here with some pages down the left here about the dashboard, managing the device, setting it up. We've got a shelf life calculator here that can predict shelf life for mangoes, and we're looking at doing one for stone fruit, and then the default setting page here. So if we go to manage device, we'll go add logger. We'll add a Frigga logger and then the code that's on the logger. Description, we'll say done. We don't need to fill out any of that really. We'll just say that and we submit it. And then that will add the logger to the database, and then we'll go and create the shipment. Okay, so now we'll set up the shipment details. So we'll go to add shipment. Type in any emails for notifications. They're default settings for me. We go to Frigga. We'll select this one that we prepared earlier. We put them at the top of the carton, at the back of the container near the doors. That's where best reception is. We can add any information here, say the shipping line number, shipping container. We'll select what sort of fruit it is, let's say nectarines. Shipment, we can add any details in there that we like. We'll say this one's going from Swan Hill to, let's say, Hong Kong. Departure date, say for this variety, let's go Flavor Pearl, which will be just before Christmas. And it will arrive in Hong Kong in roughly 3 to 4 weeks. Say 23rd. Any other notes here? Maybe we could put just say 7 kgf sugars, say 14 bricks. Now, if we want to set up any temperature alerts, we normally do it at say 0 degrees and 5 degrees. We can send those alerts to email address. Already saved that there. Then we can set up location alerts. Just need to put in the radius around the alert. So around the location, sorry. So let's just say 2 kilometers. We'll send that alert to myself again. And then we can put down the locations along the supply chain that the consignment will pass through. So let's just say, for example, when it leaves Swan Hill, we can add another location by clicking on the plus. Let's say when the container gets to the port in Melbourne, we'll just select Coode Island here. If I scroll down, you can see that the ports are around here, so that will be covered by another location. If we know which way it's going around Australia, we can put in other locations as well. Let's say Port of Brisbane. If it's stopping there, and then let's just say the last stop here, Hong Kong. And then I always recommend putting in one more that it may not go to, just so that it covers past the Hong Kong stage. So you can just put in, say, we'll put in Shanghai. And if it does happen to go there, we'll get it as well. And then the final step is just to submit, and it should be all done. Success. So if we go back to the dashboard, we should see it at the top here. And here it is down the bottom here. So shipment 46, Swan Hill to, say, Shanghai. The logger number there, it's a test for later in the year. There's no records yet because the logger has just started. But when it does connect to the network, it should send some information through. So that's just a quick overview of what to do after starting the logger and then setting it up on the dashboard. And then we can check this periodically, or if we get an alert through the email, we can see what's happening with the temperature and also the location. Okay, and here's one that we set up last week. It's just a local one. And I'll just show you what you might see when you open up the dashboard and look at the information for that particular logger. If we go into this one here, show records. If we scroll down, this is what we'll see. So the logger number, the position. On the left here, any status locations of where the loggers arrived or departed from. And then here is a temperature profile from that logger. And it's been running for roughly a week. If we put our mouse or cursor over any part of the graph, you can see on the top right there the date, the time, and the temperature. This one here did get up to 50 odd degrees. I actually put it in my oven just as a check. And then these temperatures here around low 20s is room temperature. It's been quite warm here in Melbourne recently. And then this lower temperature is actually my fridge temperature. So you can see it down around 4 degrees or less. And then back to room temperature here. And then if we scroll down a little bit further on the left, we can see some summary of the data as to when we started it, if it's finished or not, or the last known dates and times. And basically just a summary of the temperatures here, number of hours above or below 0 degrees, above 5 degrees, the average temperature, the min and max temperatures. And on the right here, we have a map of where the logger's been. I did take it for a walk the other day. So we'll just zoom in and we'll see roughly where I went. These green circles here, I guess, are where the logger's updating to the mobile phone towers. It has been stationary at my house for a little bit, so it's pinging off a few towers at the moment. I did walk up east of my house over Springvale Road just for a walk, and it's picked up a tower down here on the right. So that shows you roughly the location that the logger is in and where it's been. But it will bounce around a little bit, just trying to search for the nearest tower so that it can update the latest information. And I'd like to acknowledge Andrew McNish and Neil White in particular, who's done a lot of the coding behind this dashboard.